So the next thing we're gonna do is move. Really? These people, their car alarm goes off every day. Ridiculous. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a drugstore affordable makeup tutorial for any of you going back to school, whether this is middle school, high school, college. If you just want to do a quick beat that's decent looking and just really quick and easy, then stay tuned. All right, you guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put on my Nivea lip butter. Everything I'm using in this video is Drugstore, and everything will be linked down below in the description box as well. Primer I'm using is the Maybelline New York Master Prime by the Face Studio, and this is the Blur and Smooth primer, and this is number 100 because there are other ones. Sometimes I do my eyebrows first, but sometimes I do my foundation first. So for foundation in the drugstore, you can pretty much pick any brand, obviously. The two drugstore brands that I personally love are the Maybelline Fit Me line, and I like the Revlon Color Stay line. Now for this video, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. My color is 355, and that's the coconut shade. This is the matte and poreless Fit Me foundation line. They do have the other one called Dewy and Smooth, but I like the matte and poreless because I have combination skin, but my skin is mostly oily, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. And to apply the foundation, I'm using a damp Real Techniques beauty sponge, and the Real Techniques sponges have a flat side and then a pointed side, so yeah, so you can like pat stuff in, or you can get into corners. What I like to do with this foundation is pour it on the back of my hand, since it does not have a pump, and I feel like adding a pump to this would make this even better, because Maybelline already has like tons of shades for all skin tones, and it's like one of the best drugstore lines, and it's like if they just add a pump to their Fit Me line, guys, really, we'll be doing it. So I'm 355 coconut, so I just put it on the back of my hand like so. Actually, before you do that, you want to like shake it up, because if your foundation's been sitting, it's probably like separated, like some of the mixture probably separated. So always shake up your foundation before you use it, just to make sure that it's all mixed up. So I haven't used this in a little while because I've been using the Kat Von D a lot, especially with it being summer and my skin gets a lot more oilier. So I'm just gonna take some on the back of my hand, and this is the one that I have that's almost finished. I have another one, I have a new one that I bought. Real Technique sponges are a great dupe for beauty blenders because they really blend your foundation out really good and get it into your skin really good. And you always want to make sure that you blend out to your ear and down your neck, your chin and neck. So I've already done one side, now I'm going to do the other side. And a good thing to do if you're going back to school and you're using this routine is to just make sure you get your eyelids with your foundation, because that'll be like the first line of coverage for your eyes. Because if you're going to school, you don't really want to pack all that extra stuff on your face, like concealers and contours and all that stuff. Like this video won't have any of that, because I personally don't think that school age children, middle schoolers, high schoolers, I don't think you should be going to school with a whole face of makeup, but that's for your parents to decide. I know my mom didn't let me just go to school with a whole face of makeup. Okay, so I've applied my foundation. So a good tip for those of you going back to school would be to basically pick your foundation based on your schedule. If you're going the more affordable route and you're using drugstore products, if you're deciding between the two that I'm using, the best thing to do would be, like, if you're doing after school activities, is to pick something like Color Stay, which stays in place and doesn't transfer. Maybelline Fit Me doesn't have a specified time that it stays on, and also this foundation does transfer. So if you're just going to class, like if you're in college and you're just going to, like, you probably have 2 classes on a Monday, you can easily just do this real quick and do whatever else you want to do to your face and go to class. And then if you're going to be going to like a club meeting afterwards or something where you need, or work afterwards, and you need your makeup to stay put or stay in place for a long period of time, it's better to use some kind of foundation with staying power. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows, and for my eyebrows I'm gonna be using the ColourPop brow pencil, and this is the color Black and Brown. I do have the color Brunette as well, but I think that's too light for my eyebrows, so I'll probably end up using that as a lip liner. But I've been loving this pencil. This can be found on the ColourPop website, and the reason I'm including this in this look is because even though you have to buy this on their online, ColourPop is priced pretty much close to drugstore prices. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future you can buy ColourPop in CVS or Walgreens or something like that, because the prices are unbelievable. Like, this pencil was $5. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows, and I'll be back. Now, I filled my brows in a lot darker than I normally would if I was just going out to do like some kind of errand run or something like that. And that's because when you're going to school, you want your brows to stay in place. And if you're a person like me who doesn't use brow gel or anything like that, you want to make them where they just look good on their own, okay? Another good tip would be to carve out your eyebrows with concealer. So what I'm gonna actually do before I do this is put on my eyeshadow primer. This is by LA Colors. I think I got this at like Dollar General or Family Dollar or something like that. This you can find in certain like dollar stores, and it's actually a really good primer. Y'all don't sleep on these low end brands, okay? Just because they're not all up in CVS and Walmart doesn't mean that they're not good, okay? That just means the word hasn't gotten out about them just yet. But the word got out about this concealer, and the reason I'm putting my eyeshadow primer on now is so that it can kind of sit and set while I carve out my brows. The foundation I put on my eyes already started creasing, so what I'm gonna do is blend this back out with the beauty sponge, and then I'm gonna go in with my eyeshadow primer, and then I'm going to set my lids with this CoverGirl matte powder, and this is from their Clean Matte line, and I have the color 20, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm only setting the lower part of my lid, and that's because I'm only using one shadow to do this look. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and carve my eyebrows out with the concealer brush and this concealer. And you wanna use a concealer that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. So I like to use the color Fawn by LA Girl. I feel like everybody and their mama knows about this stuff. So I've been using it for years now. I use it sometimes as a concealer, like highlight under, you know, all over my face and everything like that. But we're not gonna be doing all of that today. The brush I'm gonna use is a concealer brush. Eyebrows need to be done, so they probably look horrendous, but so basically I'm finished with my eyebrows. Okay guys, so the next thing I'm gonna do is my eyeshadow, and for this look I decided to go ahead and just use a single shadow. I'm not doing a whole bunch of extravagant eyeshadow, just keep it really simple. I'm going to use this color here. It's called Jaded, and it's by NYX, and it's a pretty green color. Let me see if I can show you guys close. It's a nice green color. So what I'm gonna do is start with a flat eyeshadow brush, and this is also by e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I'm just going to go ahead and dab that in here, and I'm just going to put it on the part of my lid where I put the eye primer, which is just the lower part right below my crease. Okay, so the shadow is basically finished. What I'm gonna do is just blend out the part right where in my crease. I'm gonna just go ahead and blend that out with a e.l.f. blending brush. And this will give kind of like a nice diffusion of the color. Okay, so now that we're finished with the eyeshadow, very simple. What you can do if you want to add a little bit more flares, you can add some of the same color to your bottom lash line if you're into that. Sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't. I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do next is move on to eyeliner. My favorite drugstore liner is the L'Oreal Linear Intense eyeliner, but NYC also has a really good eyeliner. Maybelline has really good eyeliners, so I'm going to be using NYC liquid eyeliner, and I'm going to be using Maybelline Master Kajal kohl liner for my bottom waterline. So now I'm gonna go in with a few coats of mascara, and the mascara I'm gonna use is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. I don't feel like mascara is an item that you have to buy high end. I feel like if you know how to work with mascara, you can get the look for your lashes that you want depending on the type of mascara that you buy. One of probably everybody's favorites is the Maybelline Great Lash. You guys can tell by now I'm a Maybelline fanatic. I like to use the Miss Mango Rock by L'Oreal as well. I usually mix the two together, but since this is a school makeup type of video, I'm not gonna use both of them because for school, you don't really want your lashes to be like on fleek like that. So you need to have just subtle makeup. It doesn't have to be super extravagant. Like I would have used a more neutral toned eyeshadow, but I feel like I keep seeing a lot of that on YouTube, so I'm just trying to, you know, go outside the box, since I'm using a green because I've never really done a tutorial with a green before. Okay, so after mascara, what I'm gonna do is go in and do extra stuff to the face, which would be like, if you feel like you need a setting powder, you can go ahead and set with a powder. I like to use the CoverGirl Clean Matte powder, which you guys saw me set my eyeshadow primer with. Yeah, you can set your whole face with that. I'm not gonna use that all over my face, but that is an option for those of you who would like to set your foundation with that as opposed to a setting spray. I am gonna use a setting spray. This is the Maybelline Master Fix by the Face Studio Wear Boosting Setting Spray, and this is a drugstore setting spray, so it's affordable. Boom bam. The only thing I find with this setting spray is it does leave droplets all over your face, so you just gotta make sure those dry before you do anything else. I don't know how well this setting spray works over time just yet because I usually stick to my Urban Decay, but this is an affordable makeup tutorial, so we're gonna stick it out. Okay, I'm just gonna press this part into my skin because I can't be bothered. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go in with a kind of like a duo highlighter blush type of deal. This is by Milani and it's one of their baked powder blushes, and this is the color Coralina. And I do have another color that I like to use. It's more of like a bronzy color, but if you want to add a little bit of like a pop of color to your cheeks, you can definitely use this one. And that's what I'm gonna do because I want to add a little bit of like a corally pinky tone to my cheeks. And then this also has like a lot of glisten to it, so it's good as like a blush highlighter combo is what I like to call it, even though that's not what they call it. But it's considered just a baked blush, but because it does have like little gold silver reflex in it, I like to say it's a blush highlighter duo. So this is what it looks like. So this could definitely pass as a highlighter and a blush. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of that with my Real Techniques brush, just to the apples of my cheek and up. See, it gives you a little bit of color, but it also gives you a little glow. So if you're on a budget, honey. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is lips. And this is the final thing I'm gonna do. So I don't have a brown lip liner from the drugstore because I just threw out the one that I had. I like to sometimes use my Milani Double Espresso lipstick as a lip liner. So I just go around the perimeter of my mouth with that. I've started to build up some moisture from the what is it, the lip butter that I put on earlier. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of clean that up a little. The lip color I'm going to be using is by NYC, and this is their City Duet 2-in-1 lip color, and it's basically a double-sided lipstick, and this you can find at CVS as well. So it has this lighter shade on one side and this darker shade on the other side, and that's it split down the middle. I have a couple of these and I haven't really been using them much. I swatched it earlier, that's why why it looks like that, but I can go ahead and swatch it for you guys now too. One is a really pale like tan color, and then the other one is a deeper like more brownish reddish color. So I'm going to use the brownish reddish one. Alright you guys, that's the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys like this look. This is it, like this is it, it's done. It was so quick and easy, and like I said, everything is linked in the description box below. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.